Good morning po.
Good morning po.
Morning po.
Morning po.
Hi Lucel, kamusta ka?
Okay lang naman po.
Makapuyat pa ikaw.
Okay na po. Nailibing na po kahapon.
Okay. So, okay. Condolence. And, yun. Sige. For those na hindi naka-attend kahapon, nag-orientation lang naman kami. And, discuss ko yung course information syllabus. Nag-introduce din ako sa sarili ko. And, yung schedule din-discuss ko. So, pasadaan lang natin ulit yung schedule. Pero bago ang lahat ay attendance muna tayo. Okay? So, kaya nung kahapon, please open your cam for the attendance. Then, screenshot ko lang siyang mabilis. Pogi talaga ni Alvin. Nice. Kala ko sa picture lang. Okay. Tingin. 1, 2, 3. Okay na. Simple lang.
Okay, next is mute your microphone. Okay, so online lang to. Pag face to face, huwag nyo nang i-unmute nyo na. Pag pinanap ko kayo, sagot na lang, sagot. And I want yung discussion natin. Okay. Pag yung discussion ay hindi lang ako magsasalita. Face to face. O kayo din, ano? Okay? Sometimes you will be explaining something. You will explain something related sa ating topic. Okay? Ito naman sa online.
Okay. Kasi maraming wala kahapon. Pasadaan ka lang yung schedule natin. Yung syllabus, since na-discuss ka naman siya kahapon at in-upload ka na siya sa classroom, ay kayo na yung mga hindi naka-attend kahapon, ay pakibasa na lang doon. Ang mahalaga kasi ngayon ay yung schedule natin. Share screen ko lang.
Yung mga nagtatago diyan, ginagawa.
Okay. So for the schedule, ang schedule natin is Saturday, Sunday, which is Saturday 7 to 9, always online. Then 7 to 10 every Sunday. Na tuwing even weeks ay face-to-face tayo sa boiler room. Then we have 18 weeks sa ating calendar sa semester. Then nagsimula yung week 1 natin itong August 19. And ang ating first meeting is kahapon, ngayon yung second. So that's for week 1. And matatapos ang SEM sa December 22. So you are ME3107. Itong mga nakapula, ito major exam schedule natin. Meaning, ang ating midterm week is October 15 to 21. So, may isang araw doon na ang exam ay for machine elements. Then, sa finals, we have December 9 to 15. So, may isang araw doon na para sa ating machine elements. Then, itong week 1 to 8, ito na yan. Ito yung ating schedule, August 24 hanggang October 14. Itong sa midterm na part natin, pag kayo ay absent, nagsasabi kayo kay Lucel o kay Alvin, yung excuse na absent naman para may record natin. Tapos, ang Saturdays natin, if sa tingin ko ay posible siyang maging asynchronous. So, depende dun sa magiging progress natin. Kasi tinitingnan ko naman yung schedule natin ay parang wala namang magiging holiday eh. Kasi minsan may holiday na weekend ay ayaw pa rin magpasok na school. Ito, September kasi wala namang holiday. October wala din. Kaya kung just in case lang, basta isasabihin ko naman yan kina Lucel. Okay? Then sa second half natin, October to December, ang ating assessment is hindi lang midterm at saka final exam. Meron tayong design project. Ngayon, nabago kasi yung students dun sa portal eh. Nung una, siya ay 45. Then, nung Friday lang yata, naging 48. Kaya, baka may pagbabago pa or anything. I'll wait until our next meeting. Then, i-advise ko na kayo na mag-groupings. Kung ilan kayo sa group or ilang groups ba yung kailangan natin buo. Yung kasi ating design project, which is a design, parang capstone. Hindi naman parang capstone na sadya. Sa group project na may gagawa kayo ng design, gagawa kayo ng presentation, gagawa kayo ng manuscript. And ang presentation niya ay itong week 16. Itong week 16 na to is only for presentation. Kaya itong second half natin, mas maikli lang yung discussions kumpara sa first half. Then finals week, then itong last week, yung week after finals, yun yung time para makapagpasa ng mga requirements, yung mga revisions nung inyong design project. Then, meron din tayong mga design plates. May mga ipapadrawing ako sa inyo na dalawa sa per half. Meron tayong dalawa ngayong midterm at dalawa sa finals half.
69. Tingnan ko yung attendance. Okay naman yung attendance.
Okay? So, for the whole SEM, ito yung ating schedule.
But, still, tayo hindi pa po yan. Break, final break. Sabihin nyo, I said lagi nyo.
Yes, Alvin.
Sir, dito nga po pala ulit sa ating class, meron pong foreigner. Baka po hindi kayo naiintindihan pag Tagalog.
Oo nga, no?
Thank you po.
Ay, buhay. Parang life. Okay. So we'll start with the actual lessons. I think we will not reach until 10 a.m. I think we can cover this 9:30. So let's see. So for machine elements, what is machine elements? We'll start with the introduction. Machine elements. Wait. Highlighter. Yeah. The study of mechanisms is very important. Mechanisms may be defined as the division of machine design, which is concerned with the kinematic design of linkages, cams, and gears, and gear trains. So, kinematic design is the design on the basis of motion requirements, in contrast to design on the basis of strength requirements. So for kinematic design, as discussed yesterday, we will not deal with the forces acting on the machines, not like deformable bodies, not like statics, dynamics. will be no computation of forces. There will only be computation of movements, displacement, velocities, and acceleration. That is kinematic design. For example, looking at this one, this is just a simple diagram of a mechanism which we will call slider crank mechanism. With the kinematic design, we have a kinematic diagram. We will call this a kinematic diagram. And the photo below, it's pretty dark, but I have no clear copy. But it's an V8 engine. So we have a piston here, and we have a crankshaft in the middle. And this kinematic diagram above is the representation of the movement of the engine. So we can interpret the engine in a simpler manner by using what we call the kinematic diagram. For a clearer view, if you can imagine, this one is what we call the piston head. Then we have a link here. Then we have a crank here. Wait. Tagal na result ba yun? Wala kayong balita. Alam mo, haligi. So this crankshaft and this connecting rod can be represented using what I showed you, the slider crank mechanism. So this is just, if you can imagine, this is just a stick figure diagram of the actual machine. Because in this way, we can analyze the movement, the velocity, the acceleration, simpler than using the actual drawing. Again, this is how it looks like. This is what an piston engine, piston head cylinder is arranged, and it can be interpreted into a slider crank mechanism. It's just like this. Again, this is what we call a kinematic diagram. For kinematic diagram, this one is the connecting rod. Then this one represents the crankshaft, and this one represents the piston head. So these have parts. We have the ground, the link, the slider, the joints, and I will discuss it later. For machine elements, we will also encounter the design of cams. A cam is like an avocado. Look, it looks like an avocado here. A cam is a mechanical link or a mechanical member of a machine which has an irregular shape that translates rotating motion into reciprocating motion. If you can imagine, if this cam rotates, it will push the follower up and down. So while the cam is rotating, it can translate the rotating motion into a reciprocating motion, just like here in the follower. Then we have other types of cam. For this sample, we have a three-dimensional cam. And if you can imagine again, while this cam, this is the cam, while this is rotating, it can also move left to right. While the cam is actually rotating, it can also move from left to right, and it will translate its rotating and sliding motion into reciprocating motion here. I have a GIF, a GIF, on how it is performed. So this is what I mean by translating the rotating motion into reciprocating motion. And since cams have different shapes, it can come out as this. Cams can also be circular, but take note that the pivot or the joint should not be at the center of the circle. we can have a hard cam based on the requirement. So the motion for the design of the cam is based on the requirement on when will the follower go up or when will the follower go down. So this is cams. We will go further into cam design on after midterm. So but for now, it's just the orientation of the topics. Then we have the gears. Gears are used in many applications to transmit motion from one shaft to another with a constant angular velocity ratio. So for gears, this is very familiar to all of us because as mechanical engineers, one of the symbols that identify that we're a mechanical engineer is a gear. Here you can see the logo of PSME, it's also a gear. If you can see the publication materials of MES, there's also a gear. So it's this is the identity of one of the identities of mechanical engineers. So for this, we have different types of gears. We have spur gears, whereas the gears axes are parallel. We have bevel gears, where the axes are intersecting. We have parallel helical, where the axes are parallel, but the gear tip is inclined. If you will see, there's a helix angle here, not like the spur gear, which has a straight angle. We have the herringbone gears, whereas the gear tooth is also inclined, but it's profiled to look like a letter V. Then we have the worm gear. The worm gear is the one here at the bottom. Now, while the worm gear is rotating, it will transmit rotating motion to the worm. Then we have cross shaft helical gears. So this one, the axes are perpendicular and they're using helical gears or the inclined gear tooth profiles. We also have what we call the gear train. For gear trains, it's a simple understanding of having multiple gears in contacts. So at least two is already considered as a gear train. So for this example, we are required to drive gear number 4 using gear number 1. And to make this number 4 rotate, we have installed a compound gear in the middle to have the translation of the rotation from gear 1 to gear 2, then gear 2 to gear 3, then gear 3 to gear 4. So this is what we call the gear train. So again, gears, we will have a more specific topic here after the midterm, and you will be having a design plate for the gears. Power transmitted by the elements must be so slight as to be negligible, which allows the components to be proportioned primarily on the basis of motion, strength being secondary of importance. So after machine elements, you will be taking machine design. And on machine design, there you will focus on the strength applied on the materials. Once we have designed the mechanism in machine elements, in the machine design topic, we'll be analyzing the strength. So for this course, we will focus on the motions on the mechanism parts. What is the difference between a mechanism and the machine? A mechanism is a combination of rigid or resistant bodies, so formed and connected that they move upon each other with definite relative motion. When we say relative motion, it's what we call when a machine member moves because of another. So if they are connected and one moves, the other is influenced by its movement, it's what we call relative motion. Um, then a machine is a mechanism or a collection of mechanisms which transmits force from the source of power to the resistance to be overcome. Usually, a machine is identified by having a lot of different mechanisms inside it. So the simpler assembly is the mechanism, while the more complex assembly is our machine. With regards to motion, we have four major types of motion. We can start with the plane motion. The plane motion, it's on a single plane where we have the translation. So for the translation, we have rectilinear, whereas all points of the body in parallel straight line paths. When the body moves back and forth in this manner, it is called reciprocating. So there's like this one. In figure 1.7, the slider 4 reciprocates between the limits b prime and b double prime. What does it mean? This one is what we call the slider 4. This rectangular figure is being driven by this circle link, this letter A. So when every time this link rotates, where its pivot is here in O2, it influences the slider to move back and forth. And the limit on how far the slider moves is identified here at B and here at B double prime. So when there's a translation of motion, we can call it rectilinear translation. Then for curvilinear, since this is from rotating to sliding, that's rectilinear. This is from rotating to another rotation. So curvilinear translation. The paths of the points are identical curves parallel to a fixed plane. So this is one is identical curves because these are identical links, circles. In this mechanism, link 3, this one, connects link 2 and link 4. So they can translate motion to each other. So this is translation motion. Another for our plane motion is that we have the rotation. So the rotation, the mechanism rotates on a pivot, which pivot is here, the O2. And it influences the other parts, just like this one. This one, it also moves back and forth like the slider. But the difference is this is not a slider, and it is also a link. So for the rotation of A, it influences point B to oscillate. So this one is not reciprocating. This is what we call oscillating. The main difference is the back and forth motion of oscillating is only through a given angle. So this angle is this one.
Policy yung attendance is dapat allowed lang tayo na
Then,
absent, unexcused absent.
while reciprocating is a sliding motion without an angle. So it's just a flat plane. Okay? So that's the difference of reciprocating and oscillating.
Tayo ay may 7 hours per day.
Then for plane motion, just a recap, this is what we call rotation and translation. We have rotation motion, we have reciprocating motion, we have oscillating. So that's the first major type of motion. Then we have helical motion. For helical motion, While a machine member rotates, it also moves on an axis. So if you can imagine this nut that is being unscrewed from the bolt, the nut is rotating while also moving from left to right. So that's what we call helical motion. Again, when it is doing a rotation and moving from one side to another, that's what we call the helical motion. Then for the spherical motion, it's the movement of one point to another point where its distance from a pivot does not change. So it's a fixed point. If you can visualize this one, the red arrow is moving. Oh, it's not moving. The red arrow is pointing to one part of the sphere, and while it is moving, it does not change different. It just change distance from the center of the sphere. So that's what we call the spherical motion. And for spatial motion, uh, there's a movement of bodies on a space without consideration to parallel axis, and there are independent motions. So like just like this one, the yellow dots, they can move freely and not restricted to any links or motion. So that's what we call spatial motion. Those are the four major types of motion. Again, just a recap. We have plane motion, we have helical motion, spherical motion, and spatial motion. And under plane motion, we have rotation, we have translation. That's why we have rotation and translation. For mechanism, since it is a representation of machine member or it's a representation of the movement of machines, we have what we call the cycle, period, and phase. A cycle is what we call whereas the machine member starts moving and ends on its starting position. So if a machine member rotates, but once it has completed its full rotation, that's what we call cycle. So since our motion is a repetitive motion, like just like in machines, it's a repetitive movement. Once it has completed its motion on a once it completed a single rotation, we will call it cycle. Then how long it took the machine to complete the cycle is what we call the period. To identify the phase is what we call the part by part distribution of the cycle. So if the cycle requires three stages, instead of stages, we will call it phases. So the breakdown of the part by part motion of a mechanism or a machine is what we call phase. And the full rotation of a machine or the full motion is what we call the cycle. And the time it took to complete the cycle is what we call the period. Now let's look upon the kinematic diagram. So at first I showed you what the kinematic diagram is using a slider crank mechanism, and the links or the pairing elements must be identified. So how is it drawn? For pairing elements, we have what we call the lower pair and the higher pair. So for the lower pair, These are two parts of a diagram or two parts of a machine that are fixed by a joint. So for this example, if they are fixed on a pin joint, they are called a lower pair. So what is a sample of that? So let's go back to our figure. So looking at this figure, we have link 2 and link 3. Link 2 and link 3 is connected at joint A. So the connection of link 2 and link 3 is fixed at joint A, or what we call the pin joint. Meaning, if they are fixed, this is what we call a lower pair. 2 and 3 is a lower pair. So the same way with 4 and 5, whereas 4 is this square box and 3 is this rectangular link, meaning 3 and pair is also a lower pair because they are fixed at this joint B. And they are called a lower pair if they are fixed at a joint. So what is a higher pair? If we have a lower pair, we have a higher pair. And the higher pair is the pair of elements which has mating contact only. What the example of this are gears or cams. If the connection takes place at a point or along a line, such as in a ball bearing or between two gear teeth in contact, it is known as a higher pair. So let's go back to the sample of a cam. This one. This one is the cam. This one is a follower. Their point of contact is the profile of the cam. So they are not fixed to each other. So this follower is also a link. And this cam is also a link. And they make contact to each other, but not at a fixed point. So while the cam is rotating, just like in this figure, this roller contact, this contact is a link, and the cam itself is a link also. So these two are considered as a higher pair. They are not fixed by a joint. So let's identify what are links. I'm talking about links, I'm talking about joints. So what is a link? A link is a rigid body having two or more pairing elements, meaning they are at least connected to two other links. And they are connected through the joints or through a contact. Then, a link is a rigid member with probation at the end. So, how do we identify a link? It can be represented in drawing by using a straight line, just like this one. They can be represented if there are more than two links connected to another link. We can use a triangle link. So this is also considered as one link only. If there are a lot of links connected to another link, we can use multiple parts. So a link is a representation of a machine member in drawing a kinematic diagram. But technically, it is also a link in the machine part. So let's just identify a link as a rigid body which connects other links to each other. Then we have the kinematic chain. As mentioned earlier, there's a relative motion in mechanisms and machines. And whenever a machine member moves, it influences the other machine members. It's what we call the relative motion. And the connection of links is what we call the kinematic chain.
Hindi pa natin mag-stop. But hindi na natin sasama. Tingnan ko rin. Tingnan natin.
In the movement of links, we have what we call the inversion. The inversion is this is a very rare case, but there's an idea of it. Of whenever there's a motion or a machine, whenever there's a movement of a machine member, it always comes from a source. So the source can be a rotation, the source can be sliding, and there are times that after it completed its cycle, the driven part by the motion becomes the driver, and the driver previously becomes the driven part. So that's what we call the inversion. For the transmission of motion, how do we transmit motion? We can transmit motion by having direct contact between members, such as cam and follower and gears, or through an immediate link or rod. This is what we call the higher pair and the lower pair. Again, since machine elements deals with the motion or the kinematics of our machines, we are to deal only with the kinematic diagrams as a representation of machine members. In that way, we can analyze the contact of two members or links. The one here at C, we can also transmit motion using flexible connectors such as belt or chain. But we will discuss this after midterm. So this is a topic after gears, but for this first half, we will just tackle about the kinematics of the machines or mechanisms. We have what we call the mobility and degrees of freedom. The mobility of a mechanism is the number of degrees of freedom it possesses. Meaning, there was a concept developed before about this mobility or degrees of freedom because the technology was limited in the past. There were no AutoCAD that we can use in the computers. There were no SolidWorks. And they were not able to visualize clearly if their design will perform as intended. Meaning, all their design comes by hand. They draw it, they do a prototype, but there came a concept that they want to identify if the machine will move even while not building a prototype. Because making a prototype might take some time and some resources, and there was a concept that they did not want to invest. So they thought of a process or a formula on how to determine if a design or a machine design would move just by using a formula. Again, this concept of mobility or degrees of freedom was created because before they did not have simulations on computers. So instead of assuming that their machine will move, they came up with the computation on how to determine if the machine will move or not. So let's take, for example, a single link. So this link will identify as this one, highlighted in yellow. It can move up and down. It can move from left to right, and it can also rotate. So if it's not fixed, this one is not fixed to anything, it can move up the y-axis, it can move down, it can move left and right on the x-axis, and it can also rotate. Meaning, it has 3 degrees of freedom. For the next figure, what if we have 2 independent links? These links are not connected to each other. Thus, the motion performed by the link here at the left side does not influence here, the link on the right side. Meaning, they can also move up and down, left and right, or rotate. So both of them have 3 degrees of freedom. So what if we connect them to each other? We connect them at point 2. So how many degrees of freedom does this assembly have? It's not as simple as addition. If we have 3 degrees of freedom for this link, we have 3 degrees of freedom for the other link. If we connect them, they do not have 6 degrees of freedom. Instead, let's analyze. Since this is connected, this is now considered as one mechanism. It's a single mechanism now because they are already connected. If we move it up, if we move the link 1 going up, it will influence the other link to go up also. If we move it going down, the other link will move also. Meaning, there is only one y-axis movement for both of them. Because if you move one link, the other link will follow. So that's the same thing with left and right. So this is a horizontal motion. Since if we move one link, the other link will also follow. So the independent X and Y movement from the links, from the left and the right link, is now considered as one because they are connected. And for the rotation, since dali man bay, may nalaglag lang. And for the rotation, since we have connected the 2 links and they have a joint here at P2, the rotation of the link here at the left side is independent. They can rotate freely without influencing the rotation of the other. So meaning, they have independent rotation, so that's 2 degrees of freedom. So when they have degrees of freedom moving on the y-axis, moving on the x-axis, that's why when joining 2 links, instead of having 6 degrees of freedom, they only have 4 degrees of freedom. So to better analyze, to better understand in computing what we call the degrees of freedom, Grabler, I don't know his full name, but Grabler formulated this equation. To compute for the mobility or the degrees of freedom, we will use this formula where m is equal to 3 times the quantity n minus 1 minus 2f1 minus f2. N is the total number of links, including the ground. F1 is the number of 1 degree of freedom joints. What we call 1 degree freedom joints is the lower pair. Then F2 is the number of 2 degree of freedom joints, which what we call is the higher pair. Okay? So mobility is the quantitative property, and degrees of freedom is its unit. How did they came up with this equation using this relation? After analyzing it, they derived this equation. So now I will teach you how to identify the number of links and identify the number of F1 or the lower pair, and F2, which is the higher pair. For this example, what if we have a figure, this figure 1.16, and we have to compute for the mobility.
Kasi sa problem, most of the time,
So to compute for the mobility, first, we will have to identify the number of links. So what are links again? Links are considered as the rigid bodies connected to each other. So if we can see this figure, we can visually identify what is a link. So we have this one, this one, this one, and this one. But as mentioned in this equation, while counting the links, we should include the ground. So what is this ground? Ground is represented by these diagonal lines here below. Literally, ground can be the actual ground itself, meaning these links may be connected to the ground. So sa higbay or anything that a fixed structure. This can also be identified as a frame. So meaning, if we have a machine that has a body and the links are connected to the body is what we will consider the ground, or what we call the frame. So if we will include the ground in the computation for the mobility, we'll identify it using numbers. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this link 5 at above is a singular link. It's not divided into two like this one. So it's not like this one. It is considered as one whole link. Then, after counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we will put it in the equation. N equals 5. Then we'll have to identify the F1. F1 is the what we call the lower pair, meaning these are the joints that connect two links. So what are the links? Let's identify 1 and 2. Since ground is considered as a link, they have a joint here. So that's one F1. We can label this F1. Then 1 and 3. They also have a joint fixed. So we can have this as F1. Then 1 and 4. There are two links connected at this joint. We can identify it as F1, 2. Then link 2 is also connected to link 5. So their joint can be identified as F1, 3, and 5. F1. Then 4 and 5. F1. So how many F1 are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Since we have identified F1, we will just input it in the equation. That's why this is 6. Then for F2, let's look at the diagram. If we have a higher pair, since higher pair is only for cam and gears, and this link or this mechanism does not have any link, or that is a cam, or that is a gear, so there is no F2. F2 equals 0. And when we compute for mobility using these numbers, inputting in the equation, we can identify that mobility is equal to 0. So what does it mean? if mobility is equal to 0. I'll show you in the next slide, but before that, let's identify what we call this revolute joint. There may be a figure whereas a joint can hold more than 2 links. So for this example, if a joint has 3 links to it, the F1 here is considered to be 2 joints. So we have F1 here. This is for this link, and we have F1 here for this whole link, this whole pair, and this other link. So that's why we have what we call the relation K minus 1. K meaning how many links are connected to a single joint. And if we have 3 links, we subtract 1. The joints here will be counted as 2. Okay, again, I'll repeat. If there are 3 links connected on a single joint, F1 will be counted like this. So this is a F1. So this is already a pair. And this pair is connected to another link. So we can have another F1. Meaning, when we substitute this to the equation, the F1 will be counted as 2. So I have an example figure later to show you the difference. But for now, what does it mean when the mobility is equal to 0? When the mobility is equal to 0, the conclusion is the device is a statically determinate structure. What does it mean? It means that it can also move. When the outcome of the equation is 1 or greater than equal to 1, the device is a mechanism with m degrees of freedom. So if we have a final answer of 3, we will have the conclusion the device is a mechanism with 3 degrees of freedom. But during computation, if we encounter a negative answer, which is less than or equal to -1, our conclusion is the device is statically indeterminate structure. So what is the difference between m equals 0 and m is equal to or less than -1? So for this one, it is assumed that the mechanism will not move. But for m equals 0, there's chance that it can move or not. So this is a maybe. But for less than or equal to -1, it is sure that the mechanism will not move. But for positive answer greater than or equal to 1, the mechanism design will surely move. So using these equations, they addition these conclusions because they did not have simulations in drawings before. These are their references if their design will move or not. Then for F1 and F2, on how to identify them. For F1, we have 3 types. This one, F1, and this one is F1 also. Then for F2, we have only cam or gears. This is F2. So if you will see, degrees of freedom is 1. That's why it's F1, freedom 1. Then F2. So what is the difference between rolling contact and cam or gears? So rolling contact, let's just imagine 2 cylinders that their pivot or their joint is at the center of the rolling contact. But for cam and gears, for cams, the center is offset. They can be here. Sheesh. The cam or gears, their centers or their pivots are offset, so they produce a cam motion. For gears, If it's gears, they already are F2. Now let's have examples to reinforce the idea. So we have a figure 1.18, 1.19, and 1.20. So for figure 1.18, let's compute for the mobility by identifying the links. Link 1, 2, 3, 4. How did we identify it? Link 1 is for the ground. Then link 2, as a description of the link, it's a rigid body connected to another link. So this is link 2, link 3, and link 4. So we can have n equals 4 here. Then for F1, let's identify the links 1 and 2. Link 2 and link 3, they are connected here. Link 3 and link 4 is connected here. Link 1 and link 4 is connected here. So they will have also for F1. For F2, we don't have a cam, we don't have a gear, so F2 is 0. And using these values, when we substitute it to the equation, we will have an answer of mobility is equal or less than 1. Meaning, our conclusion is the mechanism has 1 degree of freedom. It can move. If we make a rotation motion of here at link 2, it can influence the other links to move also. So let's have an example of a mechanism that will not move. For this example, we have figure 1-19, 1.19. Let's identify the number of links. We have ground. Here, if we have multiple grounds, it is still considered as 1. So we have ground here, here, and on the right side, we also have 1 ground. But they are all considered as 1. Then we have link number 2, link number 3, and link number 4. So n equals 4 also. Then for F1, we have connection. Link 2 and link 3, we have F1. Link 1 and link 3, we have F1. Link 1 and link 4, we have F1. Then we have this joint. So link 2, 3, and 4 is connected to a single joint. So this is what I'm saying earlier. We can have k minus 1, where k is the number of links connected to a single joint. And link 2, 3, 4 is 3 links connected to a single joint. Meaning the F1 here is 2. So we can have 2 F1s here. And let's count the number of F1. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. For F2, we don't have any cam or gears. And let's substitute this to the equation. We will have the answer of m equals -1. So for m equals -1, the conclusion is it is statically indeterminate structure, meaning this will not move. And by looking at it, by imagining it, if we push link 2, if we push link 3, if we rotate link 2 and link 3, there will be no motion produced. Then for example, with F2, let's have figure 1.20. So here, we have link 1. This is the ground. Again, if there are multiple grounds, they are only counted as 1. So link 1 and link 2, we have F1 because they are connected to a joint. We have link 1 and link 3 connected to a joint. And there are no other F1s. Link 2 and link 3 are connected here, where its contact is what we call the common tangent. And since link 2 and link 3 is a cam, they are not fixed at the joint. This is what we will identify as F2. So we have n equals to 3. 3 links, yung ground, hindi dalawang cams. Then we have F1. How many F1? We have 2. And we have F2 is equal to 1 because we have 2 cams that are in contact. So we'll substitute this to the equation 3 minus 1, and we will have a final answer of m equals 1. Our conclusion is the mobility has 1 degree of freedom. Meaning, if it is greater than or equal to 1, it will move. It can move. So there will be no need for simulation. We know that it will move. That's the first part of our lecture for this. And let's have a small break before proceeding to the next one. So now is 8:16. We will resume by 8:30. Have your breakfast or coffee or anything. Uh-huh. Excuse me. Okay. For now, magpa-practice naman tayo ng degrees of freedom. But no words. For our practice with degrees of freedom, let's review the formula, how to compute. We have mobility is equal to 3 times the quantity n minus 1 minus 2f1 minus f2. So what are these variables? M is the mobility, where its unit is the number of degrees of freedom. N is the total number of links, including the ground. F1 is the number of joints with 1 degree of freedom or the lower pair. And F2 is the number of 2 degree of freedom joints or the higher pair. So the answer will be always be one of these three. So it's either greater than or equal to 1, equals 0, or less than or equal to negative 1. So if we have the answer is greater than or equal to 1, the device is a mechanism with m degrees of freedom. So whatever the answer we will have, we will just replace m with the number that we got. If it equals to 0, the conclusion is always the device is a statically determinate structure. And if it equals to or less than to negative 1, it is a statically indeterminate structure. Again, to identify F1, we have 3 types of F1. We have this one, and this one. Revolute is a simple joint. So they are represented by joining 2 links. Then there's a circle in their connection. So that's why we know that it is a joint. Then for prismatic, we have links like this one. When a slider joint is in contact with the surface, then they are considered as a lower pair or a sliding joint. So it's a pure sliding or it's pure rotation. So for this example, if we have 2 links, we have a square and a rectangular link. They are sliding. Their contact is considered as a lower pair. Then for rolling contact, if we have 2 links, which their pivot or their centers at the middle, they are considered as rolling contact. If they are cam or gears, they are considered as with 2 degrees of freedom, which is F2, rolling and sliding. Also, if they are gears, they are also considered as F2. I will have a series of figures here, and I would like to ask a volunteer from the class who would like to answer. So by answering, you will have an incentive in our major exam. So who would like to? I will not show the figure. I will ask first who would like to solve for the mobility of the following figure. So anyone from the class? May plus sa midterm ba? Ba't ka nahiya? Huwag ka mahiya, man. Pwede tawag na lang tayo. Wait lang. Lucel, pwede ikaw mag-volunteer. Wala na ba ang mga ating student ba? Hello, meron ba nandyan pa? Is there anyone still in the class? Oh, Ernest, ikaw na mag-volunteer. Hello, Hans? Hans Gerald? Nawala ba na sila? Okay. So wait, di po nagana mic. Okay. Magpalit ka ba mic on device? Nasa laptop. Pwede ka po pa-explain ulit ng isa. Okay lang. Gawin ko una example, tapos ikaw sunod. So dito, we have the figure 1.25. Then, let's apply the equation. First, let's identify the variables. First, variable is n. N ba yan, sir? Parang hindi yan n. Hindi, ulitin natin. Okay. So, how many links do we have? First, let's count ground. This one, the diagonal lines. This one. Which are the other links? We have 2, 3. So, we have 3 links. And how many F1? So, F1, let's count the number of pairs. We have 1 and 2. Then 1 and 2 is connected here. So this is considered as F1 because this is the schematic representation of F1. Then 2 and 3 is connected here. 3 and 1 is connected here. So we have 3 F1. Then for F2, F2 is only cam or gear, and we don't have any cam or gears here, so 0. So if we substitute to the equation, M is equal to 3 times the quantity 3 minus 1 minus 2 times the quantity 3 minus 0. Mental math. 3 minus 1 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. Minus 2 times 3, 6. 6 minus 6, 0. 0 minus 0 is 0. M equals 0. Meaning, our conclusion is the device is statically determinate structure. Meaning, it's a maybe. Gagalaw ba siya o hindi? Would it move or not? Then, let's look at the figure. Will it move? Since this is a simple triangle, it will not move. Okay. So, you're ready for your example. Abdiel, do you want to answer the next example? No, sir. Ba yan? Ayan yun ng plus sa midterm. Just think of it na take all the incentive that you can. So, how about you, Miguel? Do you want to try the next example?
Sige po, para may sumagot na.
So, wala pa, ikaw na.
Sige po, sir. Ako na po.
Okay, I'll guide you naman. Okay, for this example, first, let's identify the number of links. N is equal to, just describe which one is the links?
Sir, ano po? Yung ground po. Dahil kahit
Okay.
dalawa po, considered as one lang po.
Yes, you are correct.
Tapos, nakadami naman na ito. Ano po? Hindi po ba ano yun, sir? 10 po.
Atin ang total na bilang mo na.
Ay, hindi. Excluding po yung ground dun. So, kung total po, 11.
Okay. Let's identify it na muna. So, 1, itong ground. So, out 2, which one is your number 2?
Yung ano po, yung nakakonect po dun sa left side na ground.
Okay. This one.
Opo.
Then, ang 3.
Yung 3 at 4 po yung connected po dyan sa, yung sa 2.
Okay. So, for this example, if a link is shaded, let's have, we will count it as a singular link. Meaning, this whole triangle is just one link.
Okay po.
So, if there is a shade, so they are counted as one link only. Okay? So, meaning, this is number 3. This whole triangle. Yeah. Because there is a shade in the area. Okay. So, let's go for number 4. Miguel, what do you think is number 4?
Yung 4 po ay yung sa ano. Yan naman pong connected po sa 3. Yung
Sa
paslanting. Opo. Sa taas po.
Okay. Then 5.
Yung 5 naman po yung pababa connected sa 4.
Then 6.
Yung 6 po, yung triangle na yan.
Yes. Then last link.
Yung 7 po na pababa.
Okay. So, using this identification, we have 7 links. How many do you think are the F1?
Ano po? Hindi po ba 6?
When counting F1, the best way to count F1 is look at 2 links and identify where they are connected. So when looking at link 1 and link 2, they are connected here at the joint. So this is F1. For link 2 and link 3, they are connected here. Okay. So on. Recount them.
Ano po, 8 po.
8. Yeah, that's correct. Because when we have link 3 and link 4, it is connected here. When we have link 4 and link 5, this is connected here. 5 and 6. 6 and 7. 7 and 1. And we have 3 and 6. They are connected also. So F1. So how many are these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And do we have, Miguel, do we have cam or gear?
Wala po. Kaya 0 po ang F2.
Yeah, you are correct. Then let's substitute to the equation. Mental math. Kaya mo na ito ba? What's the answer?
2 po.
Parang narinig ko pero hindi ko narinig.
Ano po? 2.
2. Okay. Again, if we have an answer that is greater than or equal to 1, our conclusion is the device is a mechanism with, how many is the answer? 2. So we will have the device is a mechanism with 2 degrees of freedom. Meaning, without using simulation computer programs, we know that this mechanism can move freely. Thank you, Miguel. Ilang plus gusto mo sa midterm ba?
Perfect na po. Plan.
Baka sabihin mo, plus 100. Wag naman.
Kahit ilan po.
Okay. So, thank you. Who would like to try the next one? I will not show the figure yet.
May lahat ng idea na may lining.
Okay, RM. Let's try it.
I-guide mo naman, sir, di ba?
Pag si Miguel lang, pero pag ikaw hindi na, kaya mo na
Alam
yan.
mo man. Wait lang, question, sir. Anong meaning ng black dyan sa, ano po, yung, eto, yung shaded?
Meaning, hindi siya white. Oo, shaded.
So, 1 po siya.
Ang one-way ground.
Sige, wait lang. Tatry ko, sir.
Okay, yung buhay.
Okay, how many links do we have?
POM. Yung POM kasi.
11 po ba?
This is counted as what?
3, wait lang, sir. Dino-drawing ko pa.
Oo, okay. So, habang inaantay, while waiting for RM, kakanta muna si Lucel.
Di po ako marunong kumanta, sir.
Hindi din naman maalam mag-compute si RM sa pareho.
9.
Ay, let's identify it, RM. So, this is what, link 1, which is link 2.
Yung shaded na muna, sir.
Okay, so this is link 2. Then,
Yung link 3 ay yung nasa tabi niyang shaded po. Yung yan.
this one?
Hindi, baba ka po. Yan.
Lang, ganito, nakababa ako. Hindi mo ako kita.
Ano? yan,
This one?
yan po, 3. 4
Okay.
yung taas yan.
Okay.
5. Yung paikot, sir, 5.
Paikot.
6.
Ganda ang paikot.
Naman. Paano naman
Okay.
ako matututo na rin? 6.
Okay.
7.
Okay.
Tapos, yung 2 pa 7.
Okay. Actually, this is completed already. This is the number of links.
7 na lang.
Yes,
Okay.
because there is no indication of a revolute joint here. So there is no circle. Meaning, this X formed here is considered as one link.
Okay po.
So we have n equals 7. So we go to F1. How many F1 are there?
Ang F1 ay iisa-isahin ba, sir?
Yes, just say the pair of links, then I will identify the F1.
1, 3,
Okay, 1, 3,
3, 4,
3, 4.
4, 5,
Okay,
5, 6,
okay,
6, 7,
okay,
1, 7,
okay.
at saka, paano yan? 7,
How
2.
7,
Tama
2.
ba?
This one.
Opo, tama ba?
Okay,
3, 2,
okay,
4, 2,
okay,
6, 2.
okay.
Kulang pa ba, sir?
Hindi na.
Sakta na pa.
Apo.
Bale, 9 lahat.
Okay, let's count. Naggulo-gulo na ba yung hotel? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
10 ba?
Okay. So I'll repeat it with a clearer view.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 nga, sir.
N equals 7. And we have link 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So for this F1, we have 3 links connected. Link 1, link 2, and link 3. Meaning we can apply K minus 1, where K is 3, minus 1, then 2. Meaning we have 2 F1 here. And for 3 and 4, we have 1 F1. 4 and 5, we have 3 links connected, which is link 2, link 4, and link 5. So we have 2 F1 also. So for this joint, we have 3 links connected again, which is link 2, link 5, link 6. We have 2 F1. Then we have 6 and 7, F1. Then for this other last joint, we have 3 links connected, link 1, link 2, and link 7. So we have F1 and another F1. And let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. F1 equals
10 po.
So do you have a cam or gear?
Wala po.
You don't. So let's compute for the mobility.
Negative 2 po.
Wow. 3 times 7 minus 1 minus 2 times 10 minus 0. 6 minus 7 minus 1 is 6 times 3 is 18. 18 minus 20, m equals negative 2. If our final answer is less than or negative less than or equal to -1, it is statically indeterminate, meaning it does not move. Thank you, RM. Madali pala yan, sir. Oo naman. It's, pagdating na lang sa exam, ano ito, hindi naman ganito yung tenoro. Ba't ganun? Okay. Who would like to try another one? Any volunteer ba? Huwag kayo tawa-tawa lang dyan. Magsagot din kayo. RM, may tatanong ako sa'yo.
Ano po?
Sinong pinakamabait mo kaklase dito?
Pinakamabait po ay
Apo.
si Luzelle.
Anong pangalan niya?
Luzelle po.
Si Luzelle. Luzelle,
Hindi po ako mabait, sir.
since ikaw ang pinakamabait na kaklase ni RM, ikaw sasagot mong next topic. Okay. Luzelle, pagtulungan natin to. How many links do you see?
One po dun sa ground, sir. Ay, isa-isahin po ba?
Yes.
Two po dun sa rolling po.
Big circle, small circle.
Small po.
Okay.
Tapos one po dun sa maliit.
Meron na tayong one.
Sa malaki po po. Ay, okay na po yan, sir.
Kulang pa. Okay, let's recap. Ang one natin ay yung ground. Then we have to count the other links. The links. You identified the small circle as 2. Paano man si big circle? Tatampo yan sa'yo ba?
One po ba kay big circle?
Ang 1, ginamit na natin sa ground. Count natin sa big circle. Dito bang na-
3. Another one po pala ang binibilang.
Yan. Okay. Then, do you think nakita na natin lahat ng links?
Apo, sir.
Ito line, considered as link din to. Kasi this is connecting ground and yung link to. Meaning, dapat may link pa din yung bilog natin at saka yung ground. Kaya, counted as link din to. Number 4. So, we have a total of 4 links. Again, ang links can be represented by a line, by a circle, by a cam, by a slider block. So, this is the number of links. Then, for F1, how many F1s, Lucelle, do you think we have?
Three po, sir.
Okay, 3. Let's see. Link 1 and link 3 is connected here, F1. Link 1 and link 4 is connected here, sa F1 then. Then link 2 and link 4 is connected here. So we have 3. So do you have F2?
Wala po, sir.
Link 3 at saka link 2 is connected. Pero ito yung connection nila. This one. Yan. Meaning, they are not connected in a revolute. They are not connected in a prismatic. But they are connected as a cam. That's why this will be counted as F2. So we have one F2. Oh, solve mo naman to, mental math. 3 times the quantity 4 minus 1 minus 2 times 3 minus 1.
2 po, sir.
Ano sagot mo?
2 po, sir.
Okay. Ang medyo nahirapan tayo dito, pagkapindot mo ng unmute, nag, ah, parang nauna yung salita mo bago mo mapindot yung unmute. Kaya narinig ko lang po, sir. Pero inaisip ko
Sorry
na lang. Ito na yun. Yeah. Unahin mo muna unmute. Tapos, kanta ka muna para malaman natin kung naririnig na kita. Tapos, tsaka mo sabihin yung sagot. Okay, 2. Meaning, if our answer is greater than or equal to positive 1, the device is a mechanism with 2 degrees of freedom. Thank you, Lucelle. Wait lang ba? Save ko lang. Nililista ko kayo. Huwag kayo matakot. Lucelle, sino pinakamaingay mong kaklase?
Si Alvin po.
Oh, Alvin, dahil ikaw pinakamaingay na kaklase, ikaw ang sasagot ng next figure. Alvin. Tahimik po ako. Sa umpisa lang. Hindi po ako nagmamalik. Parang magkausap lang tayo kanina. Nuloko mo ako ah. Sige na, Alvin. Kaya mo to. Napakadali lang na to.
Hello.
Alvin.
Okay.
Yes. Please identify the number of links in this mechanism.
Sir, 1 po sa ground.
Okay, that's always 1. Even though we have 2 grounds, it is considered as 1.
Tapos po, simula po sa left papunta pong right, yun pong pataas ay 2 po.
Okay.
Tapos yun naman pong left to right pababa. Ay, left to right pababa nga po ay 3.
Okay.
Tapos po,
It's okay to...
okay na ba yan?
Makita nyo naman. Pagka mali ang sagot nyo, tinutulungan ko kayong maintindihan yung tama. Kaya, just take a shot. Hatingin mo yung sagot. Yan. So, which is, kompleto na ba yung links natin? Meron pa?
Kompleto na po?
Kanina dun sa figure natin, we have identified this small circle and the big circle as one link. So dito, yung square, it's also a representation of a link. So it's hindi lang tayo limited, we're not limited with lines in identifying links. We can also represent links using geometric figures like circles and squares. Meaning, this is square block is also a link. So this is link 4. So with this, we have identified the 4 links of this figure. So let's now identify the number of F1. So Alvin, how many F1 do you think this mechanism has?
4 po.
Ano yan? Ulit po.
4 po. 4.
4. Okay. How did you know the 4?
1 to 2 po, 2 to 3, tapos 1 to 4 po.
Okay. So 1 to 2, we have a revolute joint. Yeah. So revolute, this is the revolute joint. Then 2 and 3, we have the other revolute joint. We have 3 and 4, we have the other revolute joint. Then 1 and 4, we have what we call the prismatic or the sliding joint. So that's another F1. Okay, Alvin, do we have an F2?
Sir, wala po.
Wala. Let's substitute to the equation. M is equal to 3 times the quantity 4 minus 1 minus 2 minus 4 minus 0. Mental math ba?
1 po.
Okay. So, diba? Kaya mo naman eh. Kalma ka lang. 4 minus 1 is 3 times 3 is 9 minus 2 times 4 is 8. M equals 1. Our conclusion is the device is a mechanism with 1 degrees of freedom, meaning this mechanism can move. Kagalaw siya. Thank you, Alvin. Oh, Alvin. Para naman sa
Edsel po,
sunod.
Edsel po, Edsel po.
Wala pa ako sinasabi descriptive. Pero sige.
Gaganti lang po.
Para may personalan din. Hindi ko po kilala yan. Si Alvin nga pala. Kilala mo na nga yan. Okay, Edsel. For the next figure, kaya mo to. I know. Kilala ko nanay mo, si Mrs. Angeles. Okay. For the next figure, di ba? Kaya mo yan.
Lo,
Okay, take time. Gusto mo, drawing mo muna siya sa iyo. Pwede rin screenshot mo to tapos ikaw mag-share screen, paste mo sa Paint. Or pwede, banatan na natin.
Ano po, yung ground po ay 1.
Okay, how many ground do we have?
5 po, pero 1 lang po yung count.
Yun. You are correct.
Tapos from left po ay 2,
Okay.
3, 4. Tapos yung triangle po ay 1 lang din po.
1 din.
Up. Ay, 5 po. 5.
5. Okay.
Tapos sa baba po, sa left side nung triangle po ay 6.
Okay.
Tapos sa right po ay 7.
Okay.
Tapos sa gitna po nung dalawang triangle ay 8.
Okay.
Tapos 9 po yung triangle. Tapos yung sa baba po niya ay 10. Tapos sa right po ay 11.
Okay.
Tas 12 po. 13 po yung square.
Okay. So the difference with this one, doon sa sinundan nating figure, dito kasi, para siyang trick eh. If you will see here, if we have link 1 here, link 2, and 3, this link is connected to this slider using this representation, this circle. So we have a revolute joint as presented here in the reference. So this representation is proceeded here. But in this figure, the link 12 is not connected or represented by a revolute joint. So there is no circle, there is no joint. It is shaded. It is connected to the square directly, meaning this whole figure is already our link 12. Okay? Again, the difference between this figure and the figure before this is that the connection of the link to the slider block is not using a revolute joint. So there is no connection with a revolute joint. So meaning, this slider block is already part of link 12. So we can stop there, link 12. Okay, Edsel. How about the number of F1?
Sir, wait po. Nagbibilang lang po.
Wag mo na bilangin.
Sir, 14 po.
14. Okay, let's count. Okay.
1, 2 po.
1, 2, we have F1. Then,
2, 3.
okay,
3, 4.
okay.
4, 5.
4, 5,
5, 6.
5, 6,
5, 7.
5, 7,
6, 1.
6, 1,
7, 1.
7, 1,
8, 5.
8, 5,
8, 9.
okay,
9, 10.
9, 10,
10, 1.
10, 1,
9, 11.
9, 11,
11, 12.
11, 12,
12, 1 po.
12, 1. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Tama ba? So si Hans talaga eh, gusto naman sumagot eh. Okay, so if we have 15 here, meron ba tayong F2 Edsel?
Wala po, sir.
Okay, sige. Now substitute to the equation. M equal to 3 times 12 minus 1 minus 2 times 15 minus 0. Okay, ano ang sagot natin dito?
3 po.
3. If we have 3, 12 minus 1 is 11 minus 11 times 3 is 33. 2 times 15 is 30. 33 minus 30 is 3. We have the conclusion. The device is a mechanism with 3 degrees of freedom. Okay. Dali naman pala niyan, sir. Oo, siyempre. Lecture pa eh, pag exam. Okay. Last figure. Edsel. Sino pinaka-cute mo klase?
Cute po. Si
Ah.
Adham po.
Adam. Good morning. Oh. Adam, can you hear us?
Hello, sir.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
I'm here. I'm going to give you an example. Have you followed the lecture?
Yes, sir.
Please identify how many links do we have?
Uh, so the ground is gonna be number 1, both of
Yeah.
them,
There are 3.
and the circle is gonna be 2. The other
Okay.
circle is gonna be 3. The gear. Am I
So
correct?
this is circle is part of this triangle because they are not connected with the joint. They are shaded. So meaning this circle is already part of this triangle. It shows this link is counted as 1. So this number 3 is for the circle and triangle as joined here.
So the upper of the triangle is gonna be 4.
Okay?
The right side is gonna be 5.
Okay. So we have 5 links. Then for the number of F1, how many F1 do we have?
So we have 1, 2,
Okay. 1, 2,
2,
1.
3,
2, 3 is not connected by a revolute. There is no joint. It
Ah,
is also not prismatic. There is no sliding. And it is also not rolling. So meaning, 2 and 3 is a cam. So we will count the contact of 2 and 3 as F2. Okay?
and then 3, 4,
3 and 4, we have F1.
4 and 5,
4 and 5.
and 5 and 1.
You missed 4 and 1. So we also have 4 and
Yeah.
1. So let's count. How many F1?
F1's gonna be
1,
1, 2,
2, 3,
5.
4, 5.
F2 is gonna be 1.
Yes. And let's compute for the mobility. M is equal to 3 times the quantity 5 minus 1 minus 2 times 5 minus 1. So what's
So
the
M
answer?
is equal to 1.
Okay. So 5 minus 1 is 4 times 3 is 12. 12 minus 2 times 5, which is 10. 12 minus 10 is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. M is equal to 1. Our conclusion is the device is a mechanism with 1 degree of freedom. Hi. So that's it for today. We had class regarding the introduction of the machine elements. Just a small recap. We have the what we call the kinematic design, which is represented using a kinematic diagram. So for yes, Hans. Oh, you just pressed it. Did you miss? Anyway, so the kinematic diagram, in simple terms, it is the stick figure of a machine member of a machine or a mechanism. So the kinematic diagram is a representation or a simple representation of our machines, just like this one, the figures that we have computed. And in our machine elements, we will cover cams and gears, the different types of cam, different types of gear, how to design cam, and how to design gear. But we will cover them after midterm, the cam and gear. We have a question from our audience member. Sir, possible po ba na magkapalit ng sinimulang bilang ng links? Or mali po pag ganun? Yes, it can be possible. We can start counting. So if we will have, let's have an example. So what if, for this example, we identify the ground here as 1. Then we'll start with this one, link 2. Then we can start with another. We're chaotic. Let's have this link 3, link 4, and link 5. Then we identify this as link 6. This is 7. This is 8. This is 9. This is 10. Then the two triangles, this is 11. This is 12. So it's the same thing. We will have the same output. We will have the identified number 12. So with pairings, so 1 and 2 is a sliding contact. So there is an F1. We have 2 and 6, F1, 6 and 11, 3 and 11, F1, 3 and 1, F1, 7, 11, F1, 7, 8, 12. Since these are two links, we have two F1, 3 links, we have two F1s. Then 12 and 5, then 12 and 4, 5 and 1, 4 and 1, and 8 and 9, 9 and 10, 10 and 1. So it's the same thing. We will have the same output. 15, we have no F2s, and the answer will still be the same. Is that okay, Hans? Paano ba puso ngayon? Mas gusto niya ba yung ganito? Nahirapan ako doon sa ganito. Yung iba ganito pa daw. Ano ba naman? Dumadami. Thank you po, sir. Yes, walang anuman. Then, after the kinematic design, I oriented you with the types of cams and gears. Again, we will have the design of that after midterms. So, we will have a design plate for cam and design plate for gears. Then, I showed you the different types of motion. The mechanism moves. We have 4 major types: the plane motion, the helical motion, the spherical motion, and the spatial motion. So for the plane motion, we have different subcategories. We have the rectilinear motion, and the rotation motion, and the translation motion. So but by translating, it's from rotation to reciprocating. For curvilinear, we have rotating to another rotating, and for rectilinear and translation, I already showed you the figures. Then we have the mobility. We compute for mobility. This is for us to identify if our mechanism will move. When we design the mechanism using the kinematic diagram, how do we know that this mechanism can move or not? So instead of making a prototype, we can use the formula, which is the Grabler's equation. So using the Grabler's equation, we would need to identify the number of links, the number of joints, and the joints that have 1 degree of freedom, and the joints that have 2 degrees of freedom. For the joints that have 1 degree of freedom, we have the revolute joint, the prismatic joint, and the rolling contact. And for the joint that has 2 degrees of freedom, we have cams and or gears. Then when we identify the number of links, the number of joints, we are now going to compute the mobility, and it will give us an answer of a greater than or equal to 1, 0, or less than or equal to -1. So if the answer is greater than or equal to 1, the mechanism is with m degrees of freedom, where m is the final answer, meaning our mechanism can move. If the answer is 0, the device is statically determinate structure, meaning it may or may not move depending on how it looks like. And if we have m is equal or less than -1, we are sure that this device is statically indeterminate structure, and we are sure that it will not move. Okay, so that's it for today. We'll meet again on Saturday, and again 7 o'clock or 7:15, and we will tackle the other discussions for this topic. So thank you for attending the class. Yes, Lucelle?
Sir, kung
You-
ipopost nyo daw po yung PPT po.
Yes, of course.
Thank you po.
Okay, if there are no more questions, let's meet again next weekend. Have a great day.